Previously on Let's Build a Thing.
I'm kind of thinking now, or second guessing myself, whether or not it was the right idea to glue all the things together, but I think it's gonna work out fine. Well, not bad. There has been some boo-boos. So guys, this is how the frame looks when I sprayed it with the Tamiya primer, the fine primer.
In here I'm just kind of spraying stuff, to make it nice and pretty. Gold is like fabulous. And now finally, after some very long time, the conclusion. Here I am just painting the calipers and the bottom side of the forks with the black color, the black gloss color. And afterwards I will go and pray. Yeah, after I actually went and prayed, because I did this twice. But actually I sprayed this one with the aluminum color. Here I'm painting the fenders, the side of the fenders, in the white metallic color, which I mixed myself. I'm so proud. And this is the other side of the fender, because there are two sides of this fender. Wow, what a revelation. So these are the side fenders for my motorcycle, and they are supposed to be painted with TS17, which is gloss aluminum if I'm not mistaken. But I don't have the TS spray, so I mixed these two colors together. I don't know exact ratio of the mixture because I did it by, but I'm guessing it's 2 parts this, 1 part this, somewhere along the lines. And hopefully I'll have to mix it again because I have to do the other side as well. These motorcycle is painted in this fashion. See the tank? Now it is the same color as these side fenders, but I want to make it more white, just like on the art box, because that's the reason why I took the motorcycle in the first place. So I think I'll be doing the same mixture. For the tank, but maybe doing it 50-50, make it a little more white but still sparkly. So yeah, that's the plan for now. I've also painted these things a little bit with the gold color, but I have to do it again because you see the black is going through because I didn't clear coat it because I'm lazy. But it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna do a little touch up and it's gonna be just fine. The handlebars are already done, almost. I have to do a little touch up here and there. This is one little handlebar and this is the second little handlebar. They came out pretty good actually. Then this handlebar, I've kind of, see, this is where the sprue came off. The handlebar came off the sprue, and I kind of touched it with this AK Interactive chrome silver paint. It's not perfect, but I'm not gonna go too nuts about it. It's hidden away enough. It looks like a welded seam. I kind of hated that Tamiya decided to put a sprue end right here where it's seen the most, But, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. So what I need to do right now is to wait until everything dries completely, and then it's off to the next step. In this frame you see me painting the primed top portion of the front fender, and I'm painting this one in the X7 Tamiya. Now I decided to tackle the body of the motorcycle, and this took me the longest to do, and I'll tell you why at the end of the video. But for the most part it went together like a breeze, just 2 pieces of plastic, you glue them together, and I did a little bit of sanding and a little bit of filling, but not much. I just used extra thin Tamiya quick setting glue and it was just perfect. This back portion kind of was a little annoying because it was unaligned, but again, it's not a big deal. I managed to fix it. Yeah, here I was just test fitting if all the things come together nicely, and as you can see it does. Well, they do, and yeah, that's how it looks in all black. So there it is, it's primed. It's really sexy. I'm kind of wondering if I would have left it just like that, just white in primer. As you can see in the bottom, it's still the way it is. But here it's pretty nice, Now I have to wait until this dries fully.
I mean really fully, so I'll probably leave it overnight. And then tomorrow I'm going to paint it. So this is what we have done so far. I just wanted to give you a quick update on everything. So I have this painted in the sexy red color. I've also painted the fender. Now it's just on the upside down because it's still wet. This has been clear coated. These handlebars are finally done. I've done some small detail work on them. Look, I'll focus on them. You see some detail on work. Okay. The dashboard of the motorcycle is done. What I've done is I painted this bottom portion in the aluminum color. And then I put in the decals for the dash, and I've clear coated it twice. Okay, this is the headlight, which I painted in the aluminum color on the back, and I'll leave the chrome on the front. Why I do this is because I want to replicate the picture on the box. So this is the, I think it's part of the exhaust. Yeah, this is part of the exhaust. Okay, so that's the front wheel. Some detail work was done on it. Okay, the back, which you've seen me done. All right, the handlebar, the upper part, and of course the sexy frame, which is still naked. And then there are some beats here for the handlebar assembly, which have been all painted, clear coated. Now it's just time for me to wait until this thing dries so that I can assemble the front fenders, which again, this is a part of the front fenders. These things have been clear coated, they have been dried. Now I'm just waiting for this thing to dry, clear coated, glue it together. And finally, last but not least, are these front forks. Again, have been painted. Now it's just a matter of waiting until everything dries, and then it's going to be time to glue everything together. Quickly moving along, it's time to assemble the front portion of the motorcycle. The front end is completed, as you can see, and it's beautiful. But there are certain things you need to know if you're gonna do this. And the first thing is, do not do what I do. Do not do what I did. And
paint these 3 pieces of the front fender separately because you're gonna have problems. And the first problem will be the fit issue for this side fender. It doesn't want to fit inside correctly to its socket, and that's kind of strange for a Tamiya kit, but in this instant I had problems. And then you're gonna be left with a small gap that you'll have to fill, or kind of did what I did and just move it until the plastic melts enough so that the hole kind of gets covered. But this left a smudging effect on the fender, which kind of looks like crap now. I kind of touched it with the paint and with my brush, but it still looks like crap. It looks like somebody threw up on it. But it's okay if you don't look at it very closely. Okay, the wheel went inside pretty nicely, and it turns. The screw just goes through the whole thing, and it just barely pops out at the end. Basically, it stops probably kind of 2 millimeters from the hole, from this end. That's okay. I did have some problems putting this dampener on. I think that because of the painting, the hole kind of got smaller and the bit that goes through the hole got bigger. So I think you should attach this before painting it. And I managed to break it again. So yeah, that's a thing too. Oh, the holes, the vinyl holes that you have to cut to connect these 2 brake lines to the brake up top. If you cut it to length the way the manual says it, yeah, get too short. It's just too short. It stops just shy of the nipple that you have to attach it to. So I had to recut it again, and thankfully Tamiya provides longer tubing just in case. So yeah, I recut this one and made it longer, and now it goes in great. The next problem that I had with the front assembly was the headlight mounting. Now you mount the dashboard inside, and then you kind of have to squeeze the headlight inside the little socket. But because of the paint buildup, the tolerances were so small that it just barely stuck in, and I was kind of just really on the edge whether or not I'm gonna break something. I managed to put it in, but I broke off one of the sides, so I had to glue it again. Yeah, I don't show this on the camera, but it doesn't really look bad. And even if you look closely, you don't even know if it was broken, but yeah, it broke. So I had to re-glue that again. And because the tolerances were so small, I kind of glued it just a little bit to the side, so it kind of just goes to the left a little bit, which it's kind of annoying. Yeah, that's a thing too. But other than that, it's pretty good. This little thing that you see, this little movement, I think I'm going to leave it as that, because if I put it too much pressure down here, it's probably going to snap on top, so that's not going to be a good thing. As well, as far as the handlebars are concerned, this one went on pretty nicely and quickly. This one, however, was fighting me because the hole inside that was drilled was too small, and I tried to make it bigger, but it didn't work. At the end, what I did, I just dropped a couple of drops of CA cement, and it melted the plastic to the extent that I could just slip it on, and it went in pretty easily. So yeah, that's basically the front end done and complete, and it's now time for me to make the rest of the body as sexy as this, and then merge the 2 parts together and make it as one.
After long rest, it's time to put the motor inside the frame.
Oh yeah, but before I did that, I had to cut out some of the pieces and paint them to, attach them to the frame and the motor.
swing arm to the frame, and then, you know, screwing it down with the screws, because you screw with screws. That's such a nasty word.
So I wanted to give you an update what we've done so far, and this is it. The only fully done part is the handlebar, the front forks with the handlebars. This is the only fully assembled thing, and this is not paint. This is just some sort of dust speck, I guess. Okay, so that's done. The frame. So everything that we've built so far was kind of pushed into this frame. You know, the frame, the motor, the back swing arm, the exhausts are fitted, as you see, because I didn't film that part. One thing though, I had problems fitting these exhausts. The fit issue was that when I attached it in here, because there are two pins on either end, so a pin here and a pin there, and you push it inside the hole. But when you align it with here, it doesn't align here, and if you align it here, it doesn't align up there. And I thought that I mixed it up, that this exhaust should be on this side and vice versa, but you can't really mistake this, because this hole is bigger than the other, so it doesn't fit the other way around. So yeah, I didn't make a mistake in that part, but I guess I must have done something wrong, because it just did not want to fit. And when I was wiggling it, I broke the pin, and then it didn't align anymore, and then I had to use super glue, but the super glue didn't do the job well, and now I'm just left with this mess. But okay, it doesn't matter. The exhausts on either side went together very nicely. I painted them, as you saw, in the metallic color, chrome, but I shouldn't have done that. I should have just left it the way it was. Now it just looks a little different, but you know, you learn every single time you do something. That's why it's called learning on the go, and I'm definitely learning on the go. As far as the rest of the build process is concerned, I have to assemble these pieces that I've already cut out, and I didn't document because it's basically, again, just cutting them out. I cleaned them, cut them out, except for this little metal tube goes inside here, and it goes really very tightly, and then the screw goes through the hole on top and through the bottom. You screw it together, and then it's done. One thing though that kind of puzzles me is, and I will show you in the diagram. This diagram shows two tubes going inside the engine from this thing inside the engine, but on page, so this is the step 12, but on step 13 it doesn't really say where it attaches. So I just cut down the tubes, and I have absolutely no idea where they go, because in here there are no mounting points to attach the tubes, and usually a tube is supposed to be attached to somewhere, but I don't know. Also, here come two spark plugs, and the instructions state that you just connect them up with this vinyl tube that goes all just like this on top. But I don't want to do that, because I see that there are some mounting nipples on the side, and I think that this is supposed to be mounted on there. I don't know. I have never seen the real motorcycle in real life, so I can't really comment on this. But it's kind of weird. Usually Tamiya kits are not this weird. This one is. I don't know why. But there you go. Other than that, there were really no difficulties. The only difficulties that there were, I made difficult. So yeah, because I was experimenting. And here are the parts that I've painted. See, this stuff is painted in gold, and this gets attached like this. And there, okay, you get the picture. You'll see the diagram. So yeah, that goes together. The two tubes go on the either end, and then the whole thing goes right here. So that's basically it for now. And I think that the next time you'll see this, it's gonna be full. Oh, before I forget, here is the body. Isn't it nice and shiny? Look at this, look at this. It's so nice and colorful red. Yes, I have to paint the sides in this color, just like these sides are, and then it's going to be perfect. So yeah, that's all for now. The next time you'll see this motor, it is going to be finished. So these last couple of instructions, all the steps in the instructions, are basically just how to assemble the whole thing together as a final piece. It's really straightforward, and as you can see, I just glued stuff on and it was pretty much done. So yeah, in the next shot you will see me completing the model. This is basically almost complete. I have attached and colored a couple of things that I didn't film because I had problems with my camera, and then I just got frustrated and then just do it. Anyway, the thing that I've done was I painted and attached that and that, and then I've attached, I'll show you with this little thing. I've attached this thing, this is the footrest, and this footrest on this side, and on the other one I've connected the hoses. So I connected this hose, and I've connected these two things, these two spark plugs, and another hose going from here, so from here down to the cylinder on the bottom. So far this thing is going on pretty well, but yeah, it just took me so long because I had so many other things to do. But it's just a couple of things left to do, one of which is painting the back fender, the mud guard. I've already painted in the red reflector, and I've also painted the indicators. So let me just show you. I just left them on the sprue and I just painted them, and the license plate holder here. Yeah, that's all for now. I think that the next time you will see this model, it's going to be completed. Ooh, I'm so excited! There we go, guys. Dum dum dum! It is finally done. The Moto Guzzi V10 Centauro. It's finished. Oh my god, what a labor of love this was. I'm sorry it took so long for me to do this, but I had some trouble with the final paint job, and yeah, I'll tell you all about it in the comments at the end of the video. But my god, what a beautiful beast of a motorcycle. Look at this. I'm focusing my camera as I'm turning around the motorcycle on my little wheel platform for painting, but it's so beautiful. And as you have noticed, there is a license plate. Yeah, it's not my license plate, it's just some made-up license plate that I made from a piece of paper. I printed it out, but it's a little custom thing that I've done for this motorcycle. As you can see, the brakes have been hollowed out. Well, the vents for the brakes are hollowed out, and it's really looking beautiful. Yes, I know that there are some boo-boos you might have seen on this motorcycle. I kind of destroyed one of the decals. Well, actually I destroyed 3 decals because I was clumsy, but you know what you gonna do. So let me give you a little look on top of the beast. Here we got the dashboard. Let me focus. It's pretty nice. Very beautiful indeed. So yeah, this has been a true labor of love, and I'm so happy that it's done. It kind of makes me want to do another one with a different paint job, but that's gonna be a project for the future. So yeah, here it is. And now back to my final thoughts on the build. Well, that is it. The motorcycle, as you saw, is completed. And I promised you guys that I will tell you why this thing took so long. The main culprit is probably my noobishness when it came to painting the final body, the tank, the motorcycle that sits on the frame. So in the video you saw me painting it with the primer, and then applied the red coat, and apply the clear coat, and then I masked it off, and I apply the metallic white on the sides. And then the problem started when I removed the masking tape off. I left the masking tape off probably a little too long. I think I left almost a whole day because I was afraid that it's gonna smudge something. But apparently it left a residue. Well, it did leave a residue on the tank itself, the clear part, the clear painted part. Oh wait, I phrased that wrong. On the red low. But apparently it left a residue on the red part of the tank. So I decided to remove the residue with the cotton bud dipped in thinner. And I scraped it off, but it didn't want to go off. And the more I scraped, the more layers I took off, and eventually I came down to the red layer, and it was like, no. So yeah, that kind of puzzled me. So I said, okay, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe the masking tape was on too long. So I stripped the whole paint down and I started applying it again. This time I started with the white metallic on the side and then went to the red at the end. But again, the residue was still there, and this time I was very careful not to press too much. I think 3 days of curing time was a lot, so I don't know, maybe I sprayed it on too thickly because some of the clear came off from the tank, which was kind of what. And then I got really frustrated and I said, I'll just leave it for a couple of days. I don't want to, touch it. And the third time that I did it, I again stripped the whole thing off to the bare plastic. I primed the whole thing again with white primer. I masked off the areas that I didn't want to be painted in red. I started again with red, and then I masked off the red part, painted in the white part metallic on the side. And when I stripped off the masking tape, again the residue was still there, but fortunately, because I didn't clear coat it, I managed to just smudge it a little bit with a paintbrush, and it kind of blended itself in and it kind of disappeared. And then I clear coated the whole tank, the whole outer shell, and it seemed to work. So yeah, but I'm still curious why that happened. Why like 3 days of curing did not make a better result. Yeah, so that was the biggest obstacle. The second one would be the decals. Okay, that's basically really, again, probably just because I'm clumsy. Okay, I tore one, I scratched the second, and I managed to twist the third. Yeah, the two decals that went on the wheels, they're not there because of this. And one decal that went on the side of the body, when it says V10 Centauro, the decal is only on one side. On the other, there's no decal, because what happened was I put it on, but I put it on reverse, and I was like, oh no. So I gently peeled it off, but it kind of coiled, not coiled, but it kind of stuck to itself. It kind of folded into two from, I don't know, I guess static, I guess. So I immediately dumped it in the water, took two tweezers, stretched it out very precisely, and I was like, oh yeah, I saved it. So I put it on again, and when I was positioning it again, I positioned it kind of badly, and I had to move it again up, take it off from the body, and as I did that, it started coiled, twisted itself, and it was like, no. And I just ruined it. Yeah, so that's the second problem. The third one would probably be the exhaust. Here I'm pretty sure it was not my fault. Here Tamiya kind of made a little blunder, in my opinion, probably because it was just a misaligning issue, that no matter how I positioned the exhausts, they wouldn't line up with the holes, so I eventually broke off the aligning pin, and I had to glue it with super glue, and yeah, that took a little longer. And well, the fourth one would again be with the exhaust. When you saw me strip down the chrome part, well, actually I didn't strip it down, I just painted it black and wanted to paint it in a chrome color. That was really not necessary, to be honest. I should have not done that. But I did find out how to strip chrome from plastic. So the next time that I'll be doing this, it's gonna work and it's gonna be better, I promise. I'm really curious to see this. So I'll probably make a video on this if you want. I'll probably make a video anyway. But I would recommend this kit to anyone who wants to build a motorcycle. It's a really nicely done motorcycle, nicely detailed. The instructions are, for the most part, clear, except for the one thing that I told you in the video. And I wouldn't recommend this one to a novice. simply because the methodology, yeah, I think it's right, the right word, methodology, okay, of building is a bit different. What I mean is you don't really need to follow the instructions like, you know, straight. You know, you don't go like 1, 2, 3, 4. You kind of have to go and glance a couple of steps in the future, and that is because when you're cutting things out from the screws, you have to paint them, and it's really annoying when you have to paint, like, you know, something with metallic, and then you have to change color, and then change something in black and metallic back, and then red something and white, and you know, it's like, unless you have like 3 or 4 airbrushes, which, you know, some people probably do, and I don't, unfortunately, and I don't need it right now. It's kind of annoying, you know, because you have to clean the airbrush, make sure they don't contaminate with the colors in between, especially when you're using metallic colors and they have those little sparkly pigments inside, and it's really annoying when it gets mixed with the colors that aren't supposed to be sparkly. So yeah, you have to kind of cut things out, lay them all, and then see what gets colored the same color, you know, spritz them, spray them with that color, and then, you know, move on. That would be my recommendation for the motorcycle build anyway. I think that would be true for a car as well, and for other things, I don't know. Planes are usually not that intricate unless you have like a really detailed one. And boats, I don't really know, because I never built a boat. Actually, I built a boat once, but it was like a long time ago, and I haven't even painted it. So yeah, I think that this rule would apply to cars and bikes. So yeah, I would recommend this one to anyone except novice. Sorry, novice. I'm sorry. But yeah, okay. If you're wondering why this is framed a little bit different, is because when I was filming it the first time, I kind of ran out of memory on my phone, and I didn't get a beep, so I had to do it again. But it's okay. Thank you so much for watching, if you have been. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, if you have, and if you did. If you're new to this channel, check something out. Check other content that I have on this channel. Man, I'm really sucky at this right now. I don't know. I'm kind of excited today because I have reached 101 subscriber on my channel, which is like, I really appreciate this, guys. I mean, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and commenting, and you know, I like to interact with you guys. Leave me a comment below, you know, what you think, maybe if you know what I did wrong, you know. Criticism is always good as long as it's is like constructive. You know, if you want to be a baby about it, go to some other channel, be a baby about it, please. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.